British Prime Minister Theresa May has announced that she is calling for an early election on June 8, describing it as the only way to guarantee certainty and stability for the years ahead as the UK prepares to leave the European Union. The decision was immediately welcomed by the head of the Labour Party, Jeremy Corbyn. He called it a chance to vote for a government that will put the interests of the majority first. Scottish First Minister Nicola Sturgeon, who opposes Brexit, said May's Conservative Party is trying to move the UK to the right, force through a hard Brexit and impose deeper cut. May made the surprise announcement in televised remarks in front of 10 Downing Street. In order to hold a vote ahead of the next scheduled vote in 2020, she will need the backing of Parliament, the BBC reports. The Conservative Party currently holds a small majority in the House of Commons, with 330 of its 650 seats. At this moment of enormous national significance, there should be unity here in Westminster, the Conservative leader said. But instead, there is division, May added, accusing other political parties of putting up obstacles. What they are doing jeopardizes the work we must do to prepare for Brexit at home, and it weakens the government's negotiating position in Europe, May added. If we do not hold a general election now, their political game playing will continue, and the negotiations with the European Union will reach their most difficult stage in the run-up to the next scheduled election. She emphasized the urgency to hold an election. We have at this moment a one-off chance to get this done, while the European Union agrees its negotiating position and before the detailed talks begin. May said she came to this conclusion only recently, and reluctantly. She had previously denied that she was considering any election prior to the next one scheduled. Last month, she triggered the process that began the UK's formal departure from the European Union. British voters made the surprise decision to leave the bloc in a referendum last June.
I have just chaired a meeting of the Cabinet, where we agreed that the government should call a general election to be held on the 8th of June. I want to explain the reasons for that decision, what will happen next, and the choice facing the British people when you come to vote in this election. Last summer, after the country voted to leave the European Union, Britain needed certainty, stability, and strong leadership. And since I became Prime Minister, the government has delivered precisely that. Despite predictions of immediate financial and economic danger, since the referendum we have seen consumer confidence remain high, record numbers of jobs, and economic growth that has exceeded all expectations. We have also delivered on the mandate that we were handed by the referendum result. Britain is leaving the European Union, and there can be no turning back. And as we look to the future, the government has the right plan for negotiating our new relationship with Europe. We want a deep and special partnership between a strong and successful European Union and a United Kingdom that is free to chart its own way in the world. That means we will regain control of our own money, our own laws and our own borders, and we will be free to strike trade deals with old friends and new partners all around the world. This is the right approach, and it is in the national interest. But the other political parties oppose it. At this moment of enormous national significance, there should be unity here in Westminster, but instead there is division. The country is coming together, but Westminster is not. In recent weeks, Labour have threatened to vote against the final agreement we reach with the European Union. The Liberal Democrats have said they want to grind the business of government to a standstill. The Scottish National Party say they will vote against the legislation that formally repeals Britain's membership of the European Union. And unelected members of the House of Lords have vowed to fight us every step of the way. Our opponents believe, because the government's majority is so small, that our resolve will weaken and that they can force us to change course. They are wrong. They underestimate our determination to get the job done. And I am not prepared to let them endanger the security of millions of working people across the country. Because what they are doing jeopardises the work we must do to prepare for Brexit at home. And it weakens the government's negotiating position in Europe. If we do not hold a general election now, their political game playing will continue, and the negotiations with the European Union will reach their most difficult stage in the run-up to the next scheduled election. Division in Westminster will risk our ability to make a success of Brexit, and it will cause damaging uncertainty and instability to the country. So we need a general election, and we need one now, because we have at this moment a one-off chance to get this done while the European Union...